Hey guys, MasterFiggy here, bringing you another video. So this is kind of a special video. So currently, as I'm filming this, it's the 30th of November, and the One Piece TCG, the new one, is going to be released in English with Romance Dawn. And I am getting a booster box. Well, I'm getting a couple of booster boxes sent out to me in decks as well. So hopefully I'll actually have an opening of booster box for you guys soon. But I wanted to share with you guys because I am a massive One Piece fan. And one thing I want to share with you guys is this here. So before the current TCG coming out was even announced, there was one back in roughly at the time of 4Kids had the rights to One Piece. I don't think they themselves actually released it or created the game. I think it was already pre-made in Japan, and 4Kids released in English over here. So I actually did collect some of the cards. I managed to get some of them like really cheap. It was something like €20 for a booster box kind of thing. Which is actually very good, honestly, especially when they were like out of print as well. So I want to show you guys this album here. I have a lot more cards than what's in this album, but these are the ones that I just sort of kept in here, the more rarer ones. Actually, there are some rarer ones that I don't actually have in the album, and I actually have them stored away somewhere else, but I just can't get them out right at the moment. But yeah, sorry, I'll just get on with showing you guys this album. So first off, so you can see here we have the Straw Hats. So these are how the cards were back then. So here you can see shiny, like foil versions of commons and uncommons, because that's what they did with this card game. I think, if I'm trying to remember this correctly, I think there was one foil, or maybe there was two foils. I think there was one, and the last card could be like a rare, a super rare equivalent, or it could be a silver rare, or it could actually just be a common or an uncommon just as a shiny. So I suppose in a way you could say they were kind of they really like got your hopes up high, because you really didn't know what you were going to get. But you can see here, I just thought it was a nice image to have, like the Straw Hats. At the time, this was all the Straw Hats, and just this image of all, one of each of them on the front page when you open the binder, I thought was a really nice idea. And I don't know if you guys can see that, and you can probably see with the bottom one. So the way they sort of worked was your faction was at the top right corner there. That was to sort of indicate like sort of what kind of crew I suppose you were part of. So like there's Luffy pirates, there was enemy pirates, navy, civilian, and strongman. I think that was all of them. The ones on the left actually indicate their HP, and then you can see the 300 at the bottom of Luffy there, and that indicates sort of like the attack power, and then the sort of number underneath it, so the 1 underneath it indicates how much damage this character does, and then you have the little text box that says the abilities that this certain character does have. So what's interesting is characters were actually you can only have a certain number of characters, so up to 4 of a character of a certain name, but the name, so like Sanji is written down here, that's actually not the name of the card. It's actually the Baroque assistant chef. So you would only have 4 of that. So there'd be another 4 of Sanji. In the rules of the One Piece TCG, and even with like a Digimon as well, it's by card number rather than the card name. So this one, it was another way of working around it. But it was kind of weird because there's actually another one called the Baroque Assistant Chef, so you couldn't have a playset of all of them kind of thing. But yeah, sorry, this is like the sort of the Straw Hats page, but they call it Luffy Pirates rather than Straw Hats. Here we have more of the Straw Hats, so you see Usopp there. You have Sanji in his like winter gear from Drum Island. You also have Sanji in his Alabasta outfit there on the top right. We have Chopper there. The Happy True Penny Doctor is the name of his card. This is so they actually only released 2 sets for this in English, and I think there was at least one other set in Germany and the rest of Europe. There could have been a 4th set, but I know for definite there was a 3rd set at minimum, because there was a set released. I got it like a trial deck in German, and it was all like Skypea kind of characters. And I had a friend of mine who spoke German, help me translate the cards so I could actually try and play with them. But that's a whole other story. But yeah, so here we have the green cards. So these are actually the civilians or citizen cards. So citizen is kind of just really determines. It's just really like miscellaneous characters, pretty much. So you have like Johnny and Yosaku, the bounty hunters. I kind of wanted to see these 2 in the card game, though I still think it's probably early days for that. In the new card game coming up, they could be in like a side set sort of thing in the future. We also have Patty on the left there. We also have Dalton in the middle, and then we have Chaka on the right. So like I think people who are like looking at this will probably think it's like really nostalgic seeing these characters, and that's how I feel when I see this. I really just like flicking through this, just the nostalgia really of it. Next up, so you can see we're on the sort of Navy page, as they call it. They call them the Navies rather than the Marines. And so you can see Toshigi on the left, Toshigi on the right, because they're from different sets. So I just put them on each side of... now in the 4 Kids, some of you guys might remember he was called Chaser rather than Smoker. And what's kind of funny is, and I don't know if you can make this out or not, I apologize, but you can actually see the cigars on his sleeve and on his chest there, like on one side. So like on the right side you can see the cigars like strapped to his arm and onto his chest there, and that's just kind of funny to me. And I'm pretty sure, though, just having a closer look, that the mouth, so there's supposed to be a cigar there. I don't think you guys can really make this out. There isn't a cigar at all, but the way his mouth is opened, it looks like there's supposed to be a cigar there, but they just edit that out. So it's okay to sort of have a cigar, I guess, on your sleeves, just not smoking one. And we also have Axhan Morgan, that's probably like way back in like episode 2. You also have Full Body there, who surprisingly I actually made a deck based on Full Body. I saw the set 2 that Japan have out there, and I actually built like a Full Body and Django deck for fun. You also have Kobe there in his original artwork, because it's funny because he's in the green deck that's coming out. And next up we have, these are the enemy force, so they're like purple cards. So you can see these are really just pretty much any opponent that the Straw Hats have gone against. So you can see the mighty matron Ms. Monday from Baroque Works. You also see Ms. Valentine from Baroque Works, and then we also have the Unluckies, the cleanup team. They were a strange little duo. So next up we have the best crew in One Piece. We have the Buggy Pirates. I just think that's a really nice image there, just the 3 of them standing together like that. That's why I set it up like that. It's kind of strange that like Moji, I think, is like the vice captain of that crew, and yet like he's weaker than Kabaji, like not just in this card game but I think in general. And next up here you can see Hachi, and then Kurobi from Arlong's crew, and then we have Captain Kuro there, the man of 1,000 plans. Then we have Django. So 1-2 Django, that card is called. Then we have Siam and Butchie, the Meow Band brothers. I actually don't mind that arc with the Black Cat Pirates. I think some people really dislike it, and I can kind of see why, because it is a little bit slow at points. But I did really enjoy it. Like the whole fight with the Meowband brothers, with Zoro, Usopp, the whole thing where he's just making sure that the villagers pretty much do not get injured, even if they don't believe him. He wants to keep them safe. So I really like that. Next, we have more of the enemy forces. So we have Kuro Marimo. He was one of Wapple's henchmen. We also have, now these two might be a little bit obscure to some people. So we have General Hot Dog and President Heavy. So these two were actually henchmen from the third film. And this is just a weird decision to me, because, not only was this film not dubbed, as far as I'm aware, 4Kids have absolutely no connection to this film. So it seems like really weird that they sort of even like translated these cards. They probably just did it just because, oh, there's extra cards for the set, so we'll just do that. It just seems odd to me. So here you can see this is the Strongman set. So the Strongman set is an interesting one, because these guys either have like super strong HP, or they have just really strong power. So you can see like Ben Beckman there, Lucky Roo, Yasop are part of Shanks's crew, of course. And you also have Dragon there, who has 1 HP, but he has 700 power. So that's pretty much it for the shiny commons and uncommons I have. And next up, you can see there, those are the first two rares of the set that I'm showing you guys. So we have Vivi, who's a civilian, and we also have Laboon, which is another interesting one, because, as most of you probably remember, Laboon was replaced by an iceberg in the 4Kids dub. But he has a huge amount of HP, really, like 5 HP. Next up, we have Usopp there, and we also have Luffy and Zoro there in their Alabasta outfits. We also have more members of Baroque Works. You have Mr. 9, Mr. 5, and Ms. April Fool's Day, who is a very... This is another odd one, because she wasn't actually in the 4Kids version. They skipped Little Garden, I believe. And her like weird paint power was very strange, like in the early seasons of One Piece. Next up, you can see Geen there on the left. We also have Count Battler. And for those of you who don't remember him, he's actually from the third movie as well, along with General Hot Dog and I can't remember the guy, something heavy. We also have Wapple there from Drum Island. Oops. And then we also have a topless chaser or smoker, whichever you want to put it. We also have GARP there, which is I think is kind of funny, because I don't think they actually said he was GARP even by that stage. I don't know. That just seems kind of odd to me to see. So these cards here are actually like technique cards, so the equivalent of like option cards and stuff like that. So you have like how these worked was, so you had the name of the card. This card is the user. So if this specified, like, let's say GARP, and I had GARP on the field, I could use this ability, and then its requirements is your opponent's battling character card has 3 or more initial life points. So if I was using against Chaser there, I can see he has 4, so I could use that against it. So like you can also see here with like a 3000 worlds, it does say here that you need Rono as Zolo. Yeah, that's another thing I actually forgot to mention earlier. It is Zolo in this rather than Zoro, because 4Kids. So yeah, you can see more like technique cards there. So they're pretty much just all just screenshots from the anime. And then here we have Shanks and Dr. Correja, and these are silver rares. And I don't know if you can see that, but they're the names on the cards. So I'm talking about the red-haired Shanks part and the Dr. Correja part. The letters are actually in silver. So these silver rares actually have two different forms of rarity, and the silver rare actually means that it's the rarer form. Otherwise, they would just have black lettering. So here's some more of them. So we have Zoro there in silver letters, really nice. The Duelist. We have Luffy's Fury there. It doesn't have that, unfortunately. We also have Chopper here, the first step. He also has silver lettering. We also have Hawkeye Mihawk. Hawkeye Mihawk. We also have another silver lettered Shanks, which is really nice. We have another silver lettered Dr. Correja, the Master of Doctors. We also have a user of the Flare fruit, which is Portuguese Trace in the 4Kids one. We have the White Hunter Chaser, as they call him. And then you have the Evil Flower, Ms. Sunday, aka Nico Robin, and Chaser is in the silver lettering as well. And then we also have a Sawtooth Arlong here. Sawtooth Arlong there, silver lettering. We also have Mr. 3 there in silver lettering, the Candle Champion. We have Don Krieg as well, not in silver lettering. And then down here we have a bunch of duplicates of the other silver rare. So we have a playset of Dr. Correja, or one short actually of a playset of Robin. And then there's another Arlong and another Portuguese Ace. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I just want to share this with you guys because I'm a big One Piece fan. I am very excited about the new cards coming out. And I just, like I said, I just wanted to really share this collection with you guys just to see what there was before. This card game, I have tried it out, and there are a lot of flaws with this game. And from what I've seen of the one coming out, I think the one coming out is definitely a huge improvement over this one. This one was a lot more restricting, and it also didn't leave enough room for really improving, because the big issue was actually with these technique cards, because a lot of the times they would specify specific users. And you see, if you have all these sort of factions, like Straw Hats and Navy and Enemy Forces, the Enemy Forces cards are always going to be different. So how do I put this? I don't know if I have a good example in here. Okay, actually here, Grappling Technique Gin. You're not going to get a new Gin card, so you're going to have to use the old cards every single time. Dory, this one here actually, Hakoku Sovereignty. The user is Dory, and then the requirements are the battling character is Broggy. The issue is there's another rarity of card that I don't have, and it's gold rare, and both of those cards are gold rare. So this card here is a rare, and if you're getting this rare card, it's basically useless, because this is completely useless to you if you have it, because it's a really, really rare card. Actually, two really, really rare cards that you need for this. So it was ridiculous. And like I said, you're not going to print another Gin because they want to bring out the newer characters. Whereas something like 3000 Worlds or Onigiri or Reindeer Roundhouse or Gum Gum Rapid Fire or Butterloin Breaker, these are Straw Hat characters that will be getting new cards. So this game really did have some big issues, because really going forward you just have a bunch of people playing Straw Hat decks, and that, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it limits the game so much, and it doesn't leave room for much in terms of variety. And I do hope this new One Piece game really learns from that. From what I've seen, it looks very interesting. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to try it out. If you guys want to see me open booster box of it, you know, hit the subscribe button, you know, hit the like button here. And you know, I want to thank you guys for watching this video, because like I said, you know, I enjoyed collecting these cards. Like I said, I'm a massive One Piece fan. I even collect the 4Kids DVDs, so I actually have all of the 4Kids One Piece DVDs that were ever released, volume 1 to 11. Some of them were actually a lot easier. Like, I managed to buy them when they were very, very easy. I got most of them for like €5, which was insane, because nowadays, like, I see people selling them for like 30 plus each. So I'm really, really happy with those. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. Stay up to date with more videos by subscribing to the channel. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye and thank you.